So professional. Okay. Welcome to the podcast. I guess an F1 podcast with just me and some friends from Coventry University. I thought we'd just start by going around introducing ourselves. So I'll start. Obviously, I'm Robin. My favorite driver is Daniel Ricciardo, who sadly, isn't driving right now, but makes me want to cry. But all right, so Corey, I guess. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Corey. My favourite driver is my guy, Zhou Guanyu, but I'm also a big Lewis Hamilton fan and Mercedes fan, which makes me and Sid enemies.
Perfect segue. Hi, I'm Siddharth, or Sid for short, and my favorite driver is, shocker, Max Verstappen and Red Bull Racing. But before the critics shout at me, I've been supporting Max for a long time before, his car was actually good. And he was DNFing like 26 races in 2019. But yeah, that's me.
Oh, don't worry, Sid. I like Max as well, so we can gang up on Corey a bit.
Hey.
We'll see. No,
This
but
is how.
I respect Lewis a lot, so I thought we'll look quickly at the upcoming race this weekend, which is Qatar. I'm not really. Yeah, we'll just see like expectations of what we think. Like, do we think it's just gonna be another just Max easy win, and that maybe just McLaren, coming on the rise still doing good? Like, what do we guys think? Is it just going to be another normal race from this season that we've been seeing, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it would be the same. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Max wins this, because obviously Qatar is a race that, he came second in 2021 when Lewis Hamilton won, and obviously, McLaren's doing really well right now. They prefer the high-speed corners, and Qatar is one of those races. So I wouldn't expect McLaren to beat Max, but I'm really, I mean, I would bet my money on it that they would be in front of one of the Red Bulls, that is Sergio Perez. And this is the race that Max could actually win his third championship, which is kind of, blowing my mind, that he just needs to finish 6th or higher in the sprint, and he could win this championship. Which is a perfect segue to another reason that Max cannot win a championship in a normal way. I mean, if we talk about 2021, we all know what happened, the controversy in Abu Dhabi. Then 2022 in Japan, where he didn't really know what was going on and if he was a champion because of the wet race and giving them full points or not. And now he is winning a race. He's winning a championship in the sprint.
There's
So
still time for him to lose. He doesn't have to.
Could be a crash, yeah. You never know, but
No,
that is true, yeah.
Story of the season does suggest that he will win his championship this weekend.
Yeah, it is round
Probably.
18 now, and Red Bull have lost only one race, which is kind of...
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It is also spectacular for... I mean, this has never been achieved before.
that is crazy.
Yeah,
Not
it's very
only has
impressive.
Max won like 10 in a row, like Red Bull has like almost won every single race. That is pretty crazy. But.
That is, yeah. I mean, if you talk about last weekend in Japan, it was absolutely dominant from Max Verstappen, which was, I mean, returned to smooth sailing after that slight hiccup for the Red Bull machine in Singapore. And I mean, I would say that every race Red Bull has not won almost is always a banger. It's always really good.
Of course, when you don't have like the top team, then it gets exciting because then anyone can win and stuff like that.
Exactly. If you talk about Singapore, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Carlos Sainz, but what he did in Singapore was exceptional. The way he played,
It was a great job.
mind games with both the Mercs, and the way he held them back. Because the Mercs, I mean, I was watching the race, and the Mercs were lapping, I think, 4 seconds faster than Ferrari and Lando Norris
They were
in
looking
second.
pretty scary, yeah.
I was like, there was no way that Russell and Hamilton weren't being 1-2 on the podium. And then we know what happened.
And it was nice, like, it was pretty, his namesake, Smooth Operator, was like pretty chilled. Like, the engineers were like saying like how close Lando Norris was behind him. He was like, oh, I'm doing it on purpose. And he seemed pretty calm. It was like really, I don't know, it was nice to see. But
yeah, that was amazing. The way he was giving Lando DRS to prevent Russell from overtaking the
that was
McLaren.
cool.
That was one of the most deserved wins, I would say, this season.
Just nice to see someone win a race because of reasons other than just having like a car that's like
Yeah, not
10
just
seconds faster than every other car, you know?
Or like that, or if Max had like mechanical failure or whatever you could say, then it's like they just win because of that. It's like they won because on merit, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
that's
always
true.
good to see.
Which is also strange because we haven't seen a lot of mechanical failures this year, and as opposed to, last
that's
year.
actually really true. A lot of the cars, most teams have been pretty reliable. It's either been just like a crash, pretty much. You don't see too often a car pull into the side. Whereas I remember, other seasons, 2018, 2019, a lot of cars would just like pull to the side, like the engine would blow, or the gearbox.
Yeah, I mean, remember like early 2020, like the first Austria race where everyone's mechanical?
Oh my god,
yeah.
that was crazy.
And it was just like, okay, I guess
like
no one can finish a race for now.
The
Okay.
cars can't even cross
the
the
cars
finish
got
line.
COVID that year, I'm pretty sure.
They caught something as well, not just the drivers.
Obviously 2020 as well, but even after the regulation change in 2022, where Max DNF'd 2 times out of the first 3 races, and it was obviously, we all thought that Leclerc would win the championship, and then Ferrari happened, but
But then Ferrari.
Yeah.
Story of so many seasons.
it's been a
Just pain, straight pain.
Uh,
But I think what's interesting, recently is obviously McLaren doing amazingly, but also sort of like with Mercedes as well. I feel like, I'm not sure, sort of a battle between them maybe, or between themselves with Lewis and Russell. I don't know, Corey, what you think about like them two like on track and stuff. Just sometimes it feels a bit, they have like different views of how the race should go about.
Yeah, I think Lewis and George, you put 2 very good, very competitive drivers in one team, and then they can't actually compete for anything winning, and it's just like against each other, and it's just,
I think that's what was so good about like having Bottas. He's just like, he was like the perfect wingman pretty much.
He was such a safe option for
And
Mercedes the whole time.
so consistent as well.
Yeah.
Like that, like what was that Q3 like
His
thing.
Q3 run.
Yeah, the record
that
run.
That was like insane.
To be fair, it still stands, and the whole team of Red Bull Racing was 1 race short of that record run held by Valtteri Bottas alone, which was
like
crazy.
that is insane.
Yeah.
I think you'll always have that when you have like 2 drivers that just like.
Speaking of driver pairings, I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
What do you think is the best driver pairing on the grid
That's
right
a
now?
good question. Best driver pairing.
Yeah, we'll start with Corey.
Oh, hang on. You've made a difficult question straight to me.
I can say something. Initially,
go on.
initially I'm thinking the boys from McLaren.
I was going to say...
Initially, I don't know. I feel like when you have a team that used to be obviously the start of the season and recently pretty bad, and then now they're a lot better, and then you have fairly young drivers. I don't know. I feel like it seems good because they both obviously want to do well, but then they understand the team situation is about points, so they want to try and work together. And obviously, I'm assuming decent friends, so they don't want to like mess things up for the team and stuff. Whereas obviously, like with Mercedes, Lewis has been there forever. He's like the GOAT for them, and then Russell's coming in newer, and he wants to like show something, but it just is not working out too well. Whereas with McLaren, it's like the opposite, pretty much.
Yeah, I think like as a pairing together, them 2 work really well. I think also they're just like quite evenly matched, like as drivers, like
they're both pretty skilled.
Yeah.
Like obviously, you could argue obviously Lando Norris is better because more experience and stuff, so you can't knock that too much. But they do work really well together. Like you always see them like talking together on the radios to their engineers, like talking about swapping places or like who has the better tires, who has the better chances to do something.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
There's a word to be put in for the Ferrari drivers.
Not
Not so
true.
much working together, but both being
Really,
incredibly
really
good drivers.
I feel like I don't know. I always see the last or in races. I feel like in Ferrari's case, you always have like one driver like high in the standings and one driver's like lower, so they never like have to like meet themselves.
That's
Most
true.
of the time.
It's
so
always just like whenever like Leclerc's doing good, Carlos has crashed.
Yeah.
that's true actually. Or like one of the cars that you have to like retire or something. That is really true.
Yeah,
well,
no,
I think
but
that Ferrari is broadly very bad at doing a strategy that actually helps
Yeah.
both drivers.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Always
speaking
wins.
of, after Fred has overtaken, Mattia Binotto with the team principal, I would say, we curse Ferrari for being themselves there, but I would say that they're not doing that bad. To be fair, they're making less mistakes now, and obviously they don't have a championship-winning car this year. But with the driver pairing, like I've noticed this trend where Carlos Sainz literally unleashes like demon time after the summer break.
He has been really,
And
he has been
the
really,
second half
really
of the
good.
season for Carlos Sainz, I mean, I would say ever since 2019 has been absolutely amazing, and that has been, obviously shown since he won Singapore.
in qualifying as well, because the thing was with Ferrari or with Charles Leclerc, like he was always really good in qualifying.
Yep.
Like he'd get like a random pole position, or like he'd be on the front row, but now Leclerc doesn't seem that good for whatever reason, and then Carlos Sainz like picked it up pretty much, and he's gone the couple pole positions and he's gotten that win.
Yeah, I think at the
And-
start of the season they were focusing more on outright one lap pace in qualifying,
yeah.
and now they've understood that you don't score points in qualifying. You need a good race car for them to actually
Yeah, not only
It
Not-
took them 70 years to get
Yeah.
that.
not qualify first and then finish 17th. You know what I mean? But
it's important because Ferrari and Mercedes are really close in the constructors. Let me tell you, like Mercedes right now they're second with 305 points, and Ferrari are third with 285.
exactly.
So they're like 20. There's 20 points in between them. So these last 6 races for them two teams, like they're definitely looking to like get that second place in the constructors, and for the next coming year, possibly fight with Max.
Yeah, I mean it's just Max against the rest of the world, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
if we put Sergio Perez up for some neat
Oh.
introspection here, obviously he won 2 races in the first half of the season, but then after that he's just so bad. I mean, I don't want to say it, but
No, but you're
I
right.
think-
Where is he?
You just see what Max can do with the car, and then you see just Perez just
Yeah.
not even close. Like,
Yeah.
not even just qualifying, but in the race as well. Because, I mean, like, if you think about other comparisons, when you have, like, a really dominant team, obviously, recently, Mercedes, like, you'd have, obviously, Lewis, or at the start of the season, you'd have, like, Lewis and Bottas, like, changing, like, fighting for, like, pole positions, and then, whatever would happen in the race. Whereas, like, Perez doesn't really seem... He's trying to fight with the other drivers, not let alone like
yeah.
Max.
He's
Yeah, it's
fighting
like-
with the car himself. So
Yeah, it's like Bottas would always be second or third, and Perez, it's like, why are you in 7th, Perez?
That is so true.
yeah,
You're
I
in
mean,
the
I mean,
best
qualifying was
car.
never his strong suit, but
No,
then the way
but-
he's just fallen off at the latter part of the season is
Yeah.
I mean, really bad. And it's a good fuel for thought. If Max Verstappen wasn't racing, this would have been a really good championship battle. But
I would have been so good.
yeah, I mean,
That's
as
true.
it hurts to say as a Max fan, but then yeah, I mean, obviously his dominance is plausible. And speaking of another driver who did so well in the first half of the season, Fernando Alonso,
Yes.
I
the
mean,
rookie.
the rookie
The
himself.
rookie.
I mean, for me, this is just like the car was just really good at the first half of the season, and now it just feels pretty bad from what I see. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he complimented the car himself in Bahrain and
Oh,
Saudi
yeah,
Arabia, where he
yeah.
said this car is
Beautiful.
beautiful to drive.
And now he's like,
And now he's
crapping
like,
on it.
yeah, what is this car? I mean, I would say Aston Martin obviously cannot keep up with the rest of the teams in the development race. I mean,
Yeah.
especially it's like the totally opposite of what McLaren did, where they started, last,
yeah.
and now they're
They have
almost
like a
second.
different trajectory, definitely.
Yeah, it's like everyone's just upgraded around them, and they've like just not got
Yeah,
better.
which is interesting because now, like McLaren are like chasing them in the constructors now. I mean, they're 50 points behind, but if Aston Martin only getting like a couple points every race,
And
if
McLaren's
they-
getting like
and
podiums.
McLaren's
Yeah.
are getting like third places, second
Yeah.
places every
Yeah.
race, they can catch, which
Yeah.
will be really bad.
Yeah, which is
for Aston
interesting to
Martin.
see for the next season as well, because where do you go from here? Because Aston is already, I mean, are they focusing on the 2024 car now? Or
True. What
is
are
it
they doing?
What
'Cause-
are they doing? Yeah, I really want to know in the headquarters, because I mean we've seen this trend with McLaren for a lot of years now. Especially, I mean, if you saw in 2021, McLaren was pretty good.
They go up and down a lot. It's weird.
They do,
'cause
yeah.
Norris almost had that win.
Yeah, and they developed that car so well throughout the season. But then as soon as, I mean, Abu Dhabi happens last year, and then they go to Bahrain the next season, they
Yeah,
just
I don't know
fall
what they
back
do.
again.
I don't know what they do in winter seasons. Like they must be like messing up the car.
They
'cause
just love their
they-
Christmas holidays.
no, they must all be on holiday because they end with like a fairly decent car, you'd say, like to bring into next year, work on it, possibly like fight for wins at least, and then like it just
I wonder.
bottom feeders again.
I wonder if they just do less like stuff for the next year's car during the season, where other teams pay more attention to that during the season. I don't know though. That's pure
Could be.
speculation.
Yeah, because I mean I read somewhere that Red Bull is already focusing on the 2024 car.
Oh yeah,
That's not
yeah.
surprising. They've
That-
already got these
exactly.
championships
That's just
wrapped
the
up.
advantage you get for being like,
Yeah.
if you have such a
Yeah.
dominant season.
Yeah, and
You
by the
can't
way,
just
It's a
stop.
terrible one, to be fair.
That's
Yeah.
true actually.
That-
You can
that's
just
true,
give
yeah.
up and like think
Yeah.
about rebuilding for the
yeah.
next
And
year.
by the way, just a fact I wanted to mention here: this 2023 Red Bull car is the result of the cost cap penalty in 2021 for Red Bull. So they had less wind tunnel time to make this car, and it's still so dominant, which is
Oh,
I mean,
you
it blows my
they're,
mind.
They're cheaty penalties. they're
Whoa.
cheaty illegal penalties. I'm kidding. Don't kill me.
Yeah, no, but speaking of other talented drivers, I would say Alexander Albon has done wonders for Williams,
yeah,
especially
like,
under the new
I'm
command of
like
James
OG
Walls.
George Russell type stuff.
Yeah.
I'm such an Albon fan. I'm such a fan of him. I was so annoyed when he got like ousted from Red Bull. I'm so glad he's found a place with Williams where he's
Yeah, I
absolutely
mean,
destroying it.
No one understands Red Bull's ways of handling junior drivers,
No,
but
Doesn't make sense.
yeah. I mean, speaking
I think
of
they just see it in like
yeah.
a corporate way where they like hire a bunch of people and then if they don't work out they just cut them, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
you know
Bit mean to the real people they're doing
it's
it
really
to.
bad for the drivers, but you
Yeah.
know then you get
That's
someone like
just-
Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's like-
hey, it made Formula E a much better championship.
that is
All
true.
the Red Bull cut-offs are in there.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of junior Red Bull drivers, Liam Lawson.
Oh,
I'm not sure if you're seeing what he's doing. He, I mean, unironically replaced your favorite driver, Robin
I know.
Daniel
I
Ricciardo.
mean, he broke his hands. so
Yeah,
it's like,
I mean,
I'm not like salty about
yeah,
it.
get
but
well soon, Ricciardo. But
Yeah.
Liam Lawson has been doing wonders, and I would be really surprised if he
Yeah, he hasn't
doesn't
been bad.
find a seat for the 2024 season, because he scored points for AlphaTauri, which is, I mean, down in the dumps right now.
they're
But
really bad.
yeah, I mean, the only plausible reason that Liam Lawson is not in the 2024 F1 car is because Red Bull has a contract saying that they'll give him a place in Red Bull Racing in 2025,
yeah.
which I wouldn't be surprised by. And I mean, the only seat left now is the second Williams, that is Logan Sargent, who hasn't been signed yet.
Mm.
And can I just say
Wow.
he's like the new Latifi. He's
I
so
mean,
bad.
that's what I see.
The
That's
second
what I see
Williams,
online.
yeah.
Like a lot of people, they're just like memeing it because he's
Yeah.
from America. They're
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
like,
a lot of memes.
it's so
Like
funny.
what the dash is a kilometer.
What's a kilometer? That's so true.
Yeah. God. No, I wouldn't be horrifically surprised if Liam Lawson takes that seat.
No, yeah.
Just
Nor sad,
unless he
yeah.
is waiting for a Red Bull opportunity. I mean, he's in Super Formula at the moment, right? don't
He
think so,
he
no.
was,
He
but then
was, yeah.
he may sign
He's pretty well
for
in
wind tunnel testing and simulator time for Red Bull in 2024.
Mm.
If he doesn't get a seat in F1, that is, which
Yeah,
is, I mean, it's still 50-50. I mean, I don't think Williams should sign Logan Sargent again.
No.
He has, I
No,
think,
no,
I
no,
saw
you need a
I
different
saw a stat somewhere. He has cost Williams, I think, $5 million in
That-
car
Yeah,
repairs.
that's what you don't want. Obviously, with when you're a bottom team, like
Exactly.
obviously you're gonna have like newer, maybe youngsters or whatever to
Yeah.
like see what they can do.
Yeah.
But then you don't want them to keep crashing every race because you don't
Yeah.
have enough money to start with,
Yeah.
and then it's just bad.
I think he's been definitely the most disappointing rookie this season.
Oh,
I mean, compared to like Oscar Piastri, obviously.
100%.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think you're forgetting about Nick De Vries. Remember, he was in this season. Yeah.
Again on Red Bull. How do you
Yeah.
manage with junior drivers?
Yeah, because, I mean, to be fair, I didn't remember him as well. I was looking at my
Yeah.
laptop and I'm like, oh yeah,
No,
he was
no.
here.
Oh yeah, wait.
Yeah, I
that
was
guy.
excited for him, but it just didn't
Yeah.
work out.
Especially
clearly.
in 2022, was it? In Monza? Was
Yeah.
that, when he drove for Williams and he scored points for
Mm,
Williams
yeah.
in his
Yeah,
first race.
Yeah.
I had high hopes for him because, he's a Formula E world champion
Yeah.
and he just didn't get used to that AlphaTauri. I mean, it happens to some
Yeah.
drivers and
And that AlphaTauri is not an easy car to manage.
that's
like,
true.
That car looks horrible.
It's a
Yeah.
terrible car.
Yeah, which, I mean, focuses us on Yuki Tsunoda, who's actually doing really well.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no expectations from him. I'm going to be blunt when he came into F1. But he's now like the number one driver for AlphaTauri.
I was on the Yuki to F1 hype train. I can't lie. I liked him in the junior formulas, but mostly because he's a funny guy.
Traffic
I
paradise.
just like him.
No,
But,
yeah,
like,
he's a likable person.
yeah,
Definitely.
but him doing well he's been very, very good for this season, and it's just sort of consistently doing well in a car that does not want consistency or
yeah.
doing well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Do we think?
I mean, Alpha Tauri is going to be. I mean, there were rumors that it's not going to be a team anymore in 2024. They're going to be bought by either Boss or Adidas. So that could be interesting.
I'd like to see a car that's designed to look like a shoe. That's my take on that. Can we get like the Adidas side? I want it to look like a
Oh yeah,
shoe.
All Stars.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's sort of the right shape. Come on, I
Yeah,
think we can do it.
yeah. Mm. Speaking of, new teams. I just heard this yesterday. Andretti has been approved by the FIA.
Oh, they've been approved now.
They have
Awesome.
the FIA, and it could be an 11th team. So now they're talking to Liberty Media about basically sponsorships and costs and stuff like that. But they've gone through the major goal of being approved by FIA. And if they've approved them, then, I mean, as early as 2024, we could see 22 cars on the grid.
That would be
cool.
cool.
That would be great.
And
But
a second American
I'd love
team.
We would get more American drivers then probably. I bet
Yeah,
we'd get
exactly.
an IndyCar swap. I bet we'd get an IndyCar
Ooh,
driver.
That could be
That
interesting.
would be fun.
That would be
That'd be
interesting,
fun
yeah.
for
I mean, especially with Formula One focusing heavily on United States. And we have, I think 4 races now
Yeah.
in the United States.
Too
Las Vegas is
many.
coming up.
Too many.
Too
Come
many,
on.
I would say.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah,
You already had
I saw
one.
that.
Yeah, Kota was nice. I like Kota.
I like Kota a lot.
Yeah, but then I would say Las Vegas is just a publicity stunt.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of the Miami track. I don't really like it. It's
Yeah,
like
Miami. I mean, the concept is nice around a
Yeah.
football stadium, but then, I mean, American football. Don't
Yeah.
come at me. But yeah, I mean, it never makes for a good race, Miami.
Wait, is
Yeah.
Miami the one where the straight left and then, you know what I mean? You just start and then you have
Yeah.
like.
It's
goes
straight
like
and then
this.
right.
Okay, no, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the other one then.
Yeah,
I like the track.
it's the
a
one
lot
with
more.
it's the one with the fake beer. The one with the
Oh.
fake water. That was
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
The one
Nah.
with the straight left is Kota.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that
Kota's
track
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
more because that one's had good races.
Yeah.
in my opinion.
To be fair, Kota during MotoGP, 10
Ooh.
steps ahead. So
Ooh.
good. Love Kota. We'll do it for MotoGP.
Yeah. MotoGP is, I mean,
Yeah.
nice as well right now.
Yeah.
What else? If you talk about, I mean, Alpine, is there anything to talk about them?
They sure do exist as a team, and I remember that sometimes.
I mean, that whole drama with Oscar Piastri and McLaren signing Oscar Piastri before
that was
Alpine,
crazy.
that was
That was insane.
insane.
And what
And
was insane is that came like immediately after the IndyCar IndyCar drama that was essentially the same thing with Alex Palou.
oh yeah,
And it was like, what? How are you guys all doing this? Learn how contracts work, guys.
For real.
yeah, and it was so funny to me because Oscar was sleeping in Australia when
Oh,
Alpine
yeah,
put
yeah.
up the tweet saying that
He
Oscar
wasn't
is
even
driving for them.
awake.
And then he just woke up and he's like,
Like-
this is wrong and I will not be driving for Alpine.
Yeah.
That just threw Twitter off the cliff.
How do you
um,
drop the ball like that?
I
That's
swear,
mad,
man.
like-
How are you tweeting that out
That
before
guy
a
got
contract is
fired.
signed?
Yeah, and I mean, they were, forced to sign Pierre Gasly
Mm.
as their second driver because they had no one else.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
Oh,
Gasly.
I mean, he's not a bad driver,
No, he's-
honestly. So
Race winner, but
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
it's a good race.
That was a good race. But I'm just, my one sad point for Alpine is the fact that Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon apparently didn't like each other and we've had
Mm.
no drama.
Yeah,
on,
that's true. I mean,
guys.
a French team, 2 French drivers, you would assume that there would be
Give
some
us
beef,
some
right?
drama.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot with these like bomb teams. There's just not like much
Yeah.
to like care about. Like
Yeah.
you have like Alfa Romeo, Haas. Like,
Hey, don't,
well, I guess,
don't be mean to Alfa Romeo. That's where my driver is. Zhou Guanyu is doing very well.
I mean, he is signed for 2024 now.
He is, and he's done well.
That's
Thank
good.
you very much. I have been supporting him for too long.
To give up now.
Come on, guys.
um,
No, it's like Haas, so I just forget that Hülkenberg is on the grid.
No, literally.
Because I was like, when he came back, I was like, what? And then I keep forgetting, and every time I watch the race and he's mentioned, I'm like,
and
oh yeah.
and Kevin Magnussen
there.
is still here as well. Like
Yeah.
you just.
I
last
mean,
how many races?
to be fair, Haas did try the strategy of, recruiting 2 young rookie drivers
Yeah.
in Mick Schumacher and What was the other guy's name?
Mazepin.
Mazepin. Nikita
Nikita.
Mazepin.
I don't think they had any hope for Nikita
Yeah.
Mazepin. I
The
think
problem
they
with
had
them was
money.
like we talked about previously with like just too many crashes, pretty much,
Mm.
just costing them too much.
That's
whereas
true.
Yeah.
Which
with
is
with
a
Nika-
shame.
Yeah,
Because I wanted
I
to see Mick Schumacher
I would
do
have
well.
liked to see Mick more, like just develop more as a driver.
I was definitely sort of annoyed when Mick wasn't signed and Hulkenberg was, because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he wasn't doing badly. I didn't think.
It's like I understand, like, had
Yeah,
a couple
obviously.
crashes, but
Yeah.
he wasn't like a terrible. He
I-
wasn't terrible.
I mean,
I
it'd be
don't
nice to
re-
see him for like one more season to
Yeah.
like see him improve, perhaps.
That's true, and he's also left the Junior Ferrari Driver Academy
Yeah.
program, so he can't drive for
'Cause-
Ferrari anymore, and he's joined Mercedes. So I mean,
oh yeah, I
Mm.
saw that. But because like with Kevin and Nico Hulkenberg, like we've seen them, like
yeah,
we know
we know what
we
they
know
can
what to
do.
expect.
Yeah,
And I guess that's what the team wants, is just like that reliability. But for for a spectator, it's like it's just boring, because it's like they're not gonna do much. They're just a back marker car, so it's like
It sort of feels like you're not actually gonna. Like, I feel like you need that like young, new, interesting
yeah,
talent
just a
to
new
get something
like driver to like watch.
like push you forward.
Even if they're like not in the points, it's nice to like he's
there's more of a story if there's a rookie in the
yeah.
team,
Whereas
you know.
just have like
that's true, because
these guys here for years, just
yeah,
in the same
because
position, it's just
if
boring.
the rookie turns out to be really good, like Oscar Piastri is showing now, it is a big boost for McLaren. And obviously that driver program is, I mean, really really good. Speaking of Lando Norris as well, I'm gonna take a hot take here.
Here
I
we
would
go.
love to have Lando Norris in Red Bull Racing alongside Max Verstappen.
You can't get
That would
all
be
the
crazy.
nice drivers.
That would be crazy.
No, because-
he's not leaving McLaren though.
I mean, it makes sense honestly, because Lando and Max are really really good friends,
Yeah,
and I mean,
think it would
if
just be like
but I don't.
ruin the
I-
friendship, honestly.
I
Could
don't
be.
see Lando leaving McLaren anytime soon.
Prob-
They've got such a like they love each other so much. I
to
think.
be fair,
Yeah.
yeah, he is signed till 2026.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, how much is too many times when McLaren just starts at the ground bottom in Bahrain?
I don't know. Charles Leclerc keeps wanting to resign with Ferrari.
He,
for real,
oh,
it's like
yeah. To be
which
fair,
one?
that's a fair
Talk
point.
about
That's a fair
toxic
point.
relationships.
Yeah.
Like what? Nah.
These drivers love their
I think
teams for
Leclerc
some
just
reason.
really wants like if you're
A
a driver for
championship with Ferrari.
like
Yeah.
if you drive for Ferrari, you just like it's like your dream pretty
Exactly,
much,
yeah.
like
I mean, especially with Fred Vasseur now, who trained Charles Leclerc in Alfa Romeo when he was there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Leclerc's leaving anytime soon, but
No. It would imagine Leclerc in different colours though. It would feel so weird.
that would be
I know,
cra-
right?
Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
You just see Leclerc, you just think of
Yeah.
him in that that
Yeah.
red.
I feel like he
that
was a
red
driver
suit.
made for Ferrari.
It
you
would
know?
be a scene straight out of My Team career mode in F1.
No, literally like wearing like a Mercedes. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
so true. That's
Yeah.
so true.
Yep. Speaking of another disappointment, Lance Stroll.
Ugh.
Wow.
I mean,
Is it
Wow.
a disappointment if you didn't expect much?
is it disappointment when it's
To be fair, I
still been
expected
happening for, like,
I expected
so long?
something when that car was that good and Alonso was actually
I was
scoring
just happy
podiums.
seeing Alonso do well, to be honest. I didn't,
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
like a
care,
one
but-
driver team, Aston Martin.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
like-
I don't hate Lance Stroll. He's had some good drives, like especially like what was it, Turkey like 2020 stands
Oh
out.
yeah,
Mhm.
pole
Like
position, yeah.
yeah, where it's like you've had like these good drives, but there's just no consistency, and he's so frequently just like 6 places behind where you would want him to be. And you're
True.
like,
Six is, I mean, less underestimating him, but
okay, I'm being kind.
yeah,
today.
yeah. I mean, I'm just stating the facts here.
Yeah, no, you're right. But like I think especially like in comparison to Alonso, it looks real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is never
It's
leaving that
bad.
team. His dad owns it.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
why
which
it's
which
like
is disappointing, I would say, because if there was another rookie in Aston Martin, him along with Alonso could actually do really, really well.
Yeah.
like imagine like Albon at the start of the
Ooh. Oh,
season.
yeah.
That could have been really exciting, but then you just have like this is why I don't really care about Stroll, because it's like his dad owns the team, so it's like
Yeah,
If
it's
he
like a
doesn't do
guaranteed
well, it's like-
position.
okay, cool, like whatever, like he's
Does-
just not doing well, but he'll stay in the sport, like whatever, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's no actual like reason for him to do well.
it's just
other than,
yeah, that's
like,
true. There's no like motivation, because
Mm.
like
He's not going to lose his job, is he?
yeah, probably not, right? So
Like, it would
it's
be
like
really funny if he did, but
I mean, I heard he wants to pursue tennis now, so
He just leaves because he gets
Okay.
He
bored.
just leaves
But
F1
that's
to
such a,
pursue
like,
tennis.
Yeah, that's so like.
That's so
Oh, I'm
random.
just rich. I can do whatever.
Whatever.
Oh, I'm in
I know-
F1. Oh, I'll just move to tennis now.
Yeah.
I'm
I know
bored,
they're
like-
all rich, but some of them are more
More.
egregiously
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah. Like obviously.
Mm.
It's like some of them, your dad owns the team.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Like I don't have anything against drivers bringing sponsorships, that kind of stuff. I get it; it's part of the sport. Your dad owns the team, though, man.
It's like it
It's
just
on
brings
the
you back. It
nose.
just brings you back to like you're playing like football or basketball, and then it's like you're not being played because the son,
The
like
son
his
of the
dad,
coach,
his
yeah.
dad's the
Yeah.
coach, so he always gets to play, and you're like, wow, he's terrible. I'm like way better than this guy. Put me on.
Come on, man, I'm a better goalkeeper.
It's just one of those.
I mean, if you want to talk about it, Corey, let's move to Hamilton. He's just been really consistent this season.
He's been very good this season.
He has.
He-
I mean, yeah.
Like he's not in the best car, but he has been like I think just doing what you would expect from Lewis Hamilton. He's in a kind of bad car and he's doing well. And I think like I mean
agree.
I just think it's going to be sad if he retires without getting his 8th World Championship. But that's just
Oof.
I know you guys don't agree, but I do.
No. To be fair, I would love for him to have an 8th World
I
Championship
think he's
because
got enough.
no,
Come
because
on.
as a fan of the sport, obviously you cannot undermine what Lewis Hamilton has done for the sport, and the achievements that he has are just simply staggering.
Mm.
And now that Max has won more than one World Championship, I can rest easy now, and Lewis can do whatever he wants. I don't
Yeah,
care
like-
anymore.
Don't get me wrong, I'd like it to be a battle. Like
Oh,
I want
obviously,
a close
obviously.
one. I
Like,
just want him
yeah.
to win it.
Yeah.
Maybe, not have like a giant human error at the end of a championship that like still gives it to someone else.
Yeah. But then this just
Mostly
shows
joking.
Consistency always wins in Formula One,
does.
because Hamilton hasn't had any of those like star shining moments in 2023, but he's just been good
Yeah.
all the time, and now he's third in the championship.
Yeah.
So
He's just
Yeah,
just
he's been really good. Like,
yeah.
I mean, to be
You can't
that's what you
fault a
expect
lot of
from
what he's
Hamilton.
done.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
exactly, especially for someone who's not comfortable with the car,
Mm.
he just brings it home all the time. Especially we saw that in Singapore where Russell crashed at the last lap and
That
Hamilton
yeah.
was
I think it's just like the difference between Hamilton and Russell that we're
Yeah.
talking about, the consistency. Whereas like Russell, like you can see like he wants it, he goes for like stuff, but then he just sometimes just makes that mistake that costs him like points pretty much.
I think
so.
it's such a like illustrate like that ending of Singapore was such an illustration of the experience gap between them.
Definitely.
Where you go
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, Lewis Hamilton's done this many times before.
He
George
knows.
Russell
yeah.
is desperate for it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he knows like last lap like he
Yeah.
just has
Don't-
that experience.
Just don't put it in
Yeah.
the wall. It's like the one rule.
I mean, we saw it in Japan as well, where both the drivers were fighting each other.
Mm.
I don't know if you saw that, but it got pretty spicy between both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this could be a pattern for the next few years if both of them stay in Mercedes, because both of them are really, really quick drivers, and both of them will not give an inch to the other
Mm.
driver. So
Yeah.
And both
They
of
see
them really want to win again, I think, is the thing.
yeah, that's true. And this hasn't happened to Hamilton in quite a long time, because when he was with Bottas was a team player.
Yeah.
He would just let.
Which
I
is
mean,
what you want from like. Yeah,
That's true. If you
you're a
want to win
championship winning
constructors,
car,
you need
like,
one
Yeah.
and two, not
You
one
don't
and
want two
crashed.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't want two people fighting for it because
Yeah, I
then
think Mercedes had Rosberg trauma.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and now I mean
maybe a bit, yeah.
they're probably gonna have it again with Russell.
Yeah.
So
They're hopefully not with the same
Yeah.
insanity of
I
the
mean,
Rosberg. Oh, well,
I'd like to
actually,
see
maybe
that, but-
hopefully.
yeah,
It would be fun, but
That'd be
hopefully on
crazy to
Mercedes.
see.
could get
For
spicy.
Toto Wolff's heart
Yeah.
rate.
Yeah,
Right,
Hopefully
imagine
not.
that with Red Bull, like two
Ooh.
drivers fighting in that car. It's
Maybe
like
that's why I want Norris in Red Bull.
Mm.
Because
that's the thing with like.
I
if
would
you-
say right
I
now
mean-
he's the only one who could challenge Max. Apart from, I mean, someone who is
So
willing to.
Do we think Max is the best driver on the grid right now?
Oh yeah, 100%.
What do you
I
think?
mean,
Or do
Corey-
you disagree? You think?
I think it's not really. You can't really tell. Because
Obviously,
that Red Bull
obviously
is
you
so
can't tell
much
100.
faster.
Like
Don't get me wrong. Max
just
Verstappen
your
is definitely
opinion.
top 3.
Max is
Whoa,
top 3.
No, he's
whoa.
top two.
Okay.
Okay, I would just
He
say
has
like
to, yeah.
I don't know what would happen if you put Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton in that car next to him.
Yeah.
Like they're the two where I would say like I think there's a
Obviously,
fighting
you'll never
chance.
tell like for certainty,
Yeah.
but like
I
I
mean,
think
Max
I would
top one or
I
top
would say
two.
that Max is probably this season being the best driver.
Yeah, because I mean, if
Oh,
you see,
obviously.
see,
But then I think the best driver, like I think Lewis Hamilton is one of one of, if not
Well,
the
obviously,
greatest.
we're talking
like,
about
if
GOAT,
you're
obviously
talking about,
Hamilton,
like,
but,
of all
current
time,
form,
then-
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nah, current
But
form,
then it
obviously.
brings
Current
in
form.
Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna into the question,
Yeah,
and
but they're
I
not
mean
on the
you
grid,
can't.
so-
Yeah,
You
well,
can't really-
we did have the on the grid thing.
Oh, fair.
No,
okay,
but
yeah.
obviously, like, form. Like,
Yeah, right now.
I mean, obviously, Max is
because
insane.
you can't
but, like,
fault anything
yeah.
Max has done.
Yeah, he doesn't make a mistake in qualifying or in
And
the
he's just
race.
insane in that car. The car's insane.
Yeah. I mean, if we go by Perez's performance, suppose he's like 7th and Max is like 30 seconds in front of the second place. So it just shows how dominant he is and how comfortable he is with the car. So yeah, definitely I would say Max is the best driver this year.
I do wish we had someone closer to Max in that Red Bull.
Do we
Yeah.
like? Is Perez gonna get replaced or
It's not.
what's nothing's been said.
Nothing's
but,
been said yet, but it's not. I wouldn't be surprised.
like the way Red Bull acts with cutting drivers, you
Oh,
would
yeah.
think.
Oh,
But
yeah.
do you almost think they're really like comfortable with having
Who do they-
someone
I
that
mean-
can't challenge Max?
And it's
Exactly.
also like,
Because-
who do you replace him with?
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
the main question,
not-
because they can't pull anyone from the AlphaTauri seat because Yuki Tsunoda will not be able to handle the pressure. I would say, and Ricardo has already been given a try in Red Bull,
Yeah.
and he's barely raced.
Put him in again.
do you
I mean,
genuinely
Round
think?
Do you-
round
yeah,
two, let's go.
Red Bull is not going to own up to
Good.
their mistake of letting
Like,
Ricardo
they're
go.
not- Like, it wouldn't happen, but it would be so insane, bro.
That would be-
Again.
yeah,
It would be
yeah.
fun. I want
Because
a,
it was so fun watching them
Yeah.
I
race
want like
each
a
other.
Baku repeat.
No,
Ooh,
literally.
ooh,
It would be
yeah.
insane.
That would be great.
Yep,
There was something, that team was incredible to watch when them two were on the
It
team
was so
together.
fun.
it was, yes. I mean, apart from all the DNFs that they were having.
Yeah, but I wasn't supporting them, so
Oh,
it was
yeah,
fine
fair,
for me. It was
fair.
just fun.
fair, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
You just want to see, like, you know.
Like you
battles
just
and
want
stuff.
someone that's gonna actually like wheel to wheel with Max, because I feel like it's like you're like, yeah, Max is the best driver this year, but
You
no,
could
he's
see a
not
lot.
fighting anyone.
Yeah, you could see a lot, like, I think this was at Suzuka or something, where
Yeah.
Max, like, was, like, racing, Piastri,
Mm.
and, like, Piastri was on the inside. I think this was on the opening.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Norris was on the outside, and Max
out
was like
because he knew
sandwiched
Max.
in
He
between.
knew Max was taking it, so he backed out.
Yeah.
So like they wouldn't
Yeah.
crash pretty much. I
Yeah.
think that's like a lot now. Everyone knows like Max, how he
Exactly.
drives and
And,
like
then
he's quicker.
even-
So it's like
Like even like when Max is like, if he's got like an engine penalty or something, he's starting further back. No, like people don't defend against him because
Yeah.
like they're not racing.
they're just
him,
like,
but
what's
it's
the
just
point?
like-
Pretty much.
Exactly.
It's just like, can we just watch someone actually fight Max? Because like, I don't know, that's more fun. I'd like a
that's
race
true.
to be fun.
That's true. Yeah, that's why I had so many high hopes for the 2022 season when Leclerc was doing really well,
Mm.
and it was. I mean, it
Yeah.
would be my dream to have a Leclerc versus Max
Oh,
battle.
it would be excellent.
And two constructors, Ferrari versus Red Bull, that would be amazing. And we got that for the first two races, but then after that, Ferrari happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That would be such a good battle.
Because there's been a few races like in the past years with like Leclerc and Verstappen. Like I just remember very vividly. Like I don't remember what year. Like either it was in Austria, and then they're like,
2019.
yeah, I think it was
It was.
probably
It was
2019.
Austria and then
And then-
Silverstone 2019. The back-to-back.
It was
just
just
incredible.
it was just beautiful. Like
yeah.
it was just wheel to wheel, and it was
Yeah.
just great to watch. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like,
Every time I'm bored, I actually go back to those moments and I see that battle, and I'm like, damn, these
That's
guys are.
fair.
Yeah, these guys are so good.
Yeah.
Silverstone was amazing. I would say that was my, I think, top 2 battles ever in Formula One.
Fair.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good race.
Mm.
Um,
But then, yeah, that's about it, Robin, if you want to do the outro.
yeah, outro. Well, thanks for listening to us waffle on for 45 minutes about. So thanks for listening, and hopefully we'll make another one of these if we got something else to talk about. So yeah, thanks for listening.
Right,
Yeah.
catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.